Today's discovery will challenge everything you thought you knew about ancient Egypt. We're about to reveal one of the most spectacular archaeological finds in human history. A treasure so vast, so incredible, that when it was first discovered, it sent shockwaves around the entire world. Before we unveil these incredible secrets, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss the ancient mysteries we're about to reveal. Picture this scene with me. The year is 1922. Deep in the Valley of the Kings, beneath the scorching Egyptian sun, a team of archaeologists stands before a sealed doorway. This door, hidden inside a mountain for 3,000 years, is about to be opened for the first time since ancient priests sealed it shut. But here's what will blow your mind. Behind this door lies the mummy of King Tutankhamun, along with treasures that archaeologists could barely believe existed. The gold discovered in this tomb was absolutely pure, not mixed with any other metals. And the total weight? Get ready for this incredible number: 103,000 tolas of pure gold. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the same weight as a Toyota car. Yes, you heard that right. An entire car's worth of pure gold. But here's the mystery that baffled archaeologists. If we estimate the value of all this treasure today, we're looking at approximately 5.5 billion rupees in worth. The treasure is essentially priceless. Act 2. The impossible question. Now, fellow explorers, here's where our story gets really intriguing. When archaeologists first examined this massive gold collection, they were confronted with a puzzle that seemed impossible to solve. Think about this for a moment. Even in our modern era, with all our advanced technology, powerful machinery and sophisticated mining equipment, it would take a mining company years and years to extract this much gold from mountains. We're talking about incredibly difficult, time-consuming work with the best tools humanity has ever created. But here's the mind-bending question. 3,000 years ago, the ancient Egyptians had no modern machines. They had no advanced technology. They had no power tools. So how on earth did they manage to extract this enormous quantity of gold? And more importantly, where did they find it? This mystery kept archaeologists awake at night. It seemed almost supernatural. Enter Thomas, a French gold expert who was determined to solve this ancient puzzle. Thomas wasn't going to rest until he uncovered the truth. Along with his dedicated team, he embarked on what would become one of the most challenging archaeological investigations ever attempted. Thomas started his research in the most logical place, with the gold itself. For several years, he meticulously studied every piece of gold found in Tutankhamun's tomb. He examined its composition, analyzed its structure, and compared it with gold samples from different regions throughout Egypt. After years of painstaking research, Thomas and his team finally made their first breakthrough. They discovered that the gold from King Tut's tomb matched the geological signature of gold from the mountains surrounding the Valley of the Kings. The ancient Egyptians had been mining locally. But fellow time travelers, knowing the general area wasn't enough. Now came the really difficult part, finding the exact mountain where the ancient miners had extracted all this precious gold. This was no easy task. The Valley of the Kings is surrounded by thousands of mountains. Finding the specific peak where ancient Egyptians had conducted their mining operations was like searching for a needle in a haystack, except this haystack covered hundreds of square kilometers of desert terrain. Thomas teamed up with an archaeologist friend, and together they travelled 80 kilometers from the Valley of the Kings into a vast desert region. They chose this area because it contained many rocks with gold deposits hidden inside them. If Tutankhamun's gold came from this desert, then surely there would be some traces, some signs of ancient mining operations. Now, pay attention to these incredible numbers. This desert stretches across 136,000 square kilometers. The heat is unbearable, water is scarce, and life is virtually non-existent. It's one of the harshest environments on Earth. Thomas reasoned brilliantly. If the ancient Egyptians extracted such massive quantities of gold from this desert, they would have needed substantial manpower. And where there are workers, there must be infrastructure to support them. After hours of travelling deeper into this barren desert, Thomas and his companion stumbled upon something extraordinary at the base of a mountain. What they discovered would change everything. There, half buried in sand, was an ancient well, completely dried up but unmistakably man-made. This well had once provided water to travellers crossing this desolate landscape thousands of years ago. But here's what really amazed them. Right next to the well, they found something even more significant: an ancient rest chamber carved into the rock. The interior of this chamber looked like a place of worship. The walls and ceiling were covered with intricate carvings and paintings, painstakingly etched into the stone by ancient artists. When Thomas's archaeologist friend, who specialized in ancient Egyptian art, examined these paintings closely, he made a shocking discovery. The artwork told a story. These paintings revealed that this desert chamber and well were just the first stop on a much longer journey. The ancient Egyptian gold miners had created an entire network of wells and rest stations leading all the way to the gold mines. Based on careful analysis, experts estimate that each rest area was located approximately 70 to 80 kilometers apart. Can you imagine that? Mining teams would have needed several days of walking through scorching desert heat just to travel from one rest stop to the next. Thomas and his companion felt both excited and overwhelmed. On one hand, they had found crucial evidence of the ancient mining operation. On the other hand, they realized they still had a long, difficult journey ahead of them. But Thomas had been searching for this answer for years, and he wasn't about to give up now. The destination he had dreamed of reaching was getting closer. So they made the bold decision to venture deeper into the desert's heart. One rest area after another appeared as they travelled through the barren wilderness, but still no sign of the actual gold mine. Then, after 2 full days of searching, Thomas spotted something incredible near the edge of a mountain. A huge pile of rocks. At first glance, it looked like a normal rock formation. But Thomas's expert eye told him this was something far more significant. His instincts screamed that this was an ancient Egyptian gold mining camp. And fellow explorers, he was absolutely right. Among the rocks they discovered stone tools, ancient instruments that had been used to break apart rocks and extract gold from within them. These weren't just random stones. These were carefully crafted mining tools designed specifically for gold extraction. Here's how the ancient process worked. The miners would take rocks that looked completely ordinary on the outside. Using these stone tools, they would crush the rocks into smaller pieces. Then, from that crushed material, they would carefully separate out the precious gold particles. As they searched the area more thoroughly, they found mining tools scattered all across the ground, evidence of an extensive operation that had once employed dozens, perhaps hundreds of workers. Now, Thomas knew a great deal about ancient Egyptian gold mining techniques. Based on his expertise, he believed the ancient miners would search through these mountains for specific types of rocks, then dig tunnels deep into the mountain to extract them. Once they found the right rocks inside these tunnels, they would transport them to this mining camp where we're standing now. Here, a separate team of workers would crush the rocks and extract the gold. Finally, that precious gold would be sent to the Valley of the Kings to become part of the royal treasure. But here's the frustrating part. Thomas found the mining camp, but where were the tunnels? He talked about these ancient mining tunnels, but couldn't find a single one. They had seemingly vanished without a trace. The explanation: after thousands of years, these tunnels had likely weakened and collapsed during earthquakes. The desert had reclaimed them, burying the evidence of ancient engineering beneath sand and rubble. Now, fellow time travelers, let's talk about something that will absolutely blow your mind. Archaeological experts have calculated just how difficult this ancient gold mining operation truly was. Pay close attention to this incredible fact. If 100 workers laboured for an entire week using these ancient methods, they would collect only about 1 spoonful of gold. Just 1 spoonful after 7 days of backbreaking work. Let that sink in for a moment. 1 spoonful, 1 week, 100 workers. Now think about the massive quantity of gold found in Tutankhamun's tomb. Enough gold to equal the weight of a car. Based on these calculations, it's absolutely clear that thousands of ancient Egyptian workers must have been mining simultaneously. And even with thousands of workers all working together, this task would have taken them many, many years to complete. This wasn't just a mining operation. It was an industrial-scale undertaking that rivaled any modern project. The gold extracted from these desert mountains was transported to the Valley of the Kings in the form of small nuggets and fragments. There, an entirely different team of highly skilled artisans waited to transform this raw material into spectacular treasures. These master craftsmen melted down the gold and shaped it into the incredible artifacts that would eventually be buried with the young pharaoh. We're talking about King Tutankhamun's world-famous death mask, that iconic golden face that's become the symbol of ancient Egypt itself. But that's just the beginning. The tomb also contained golden furniture, exquisite jewellery, ceremonial chairs fit for a king, and even a golden chariot. Each piece was a masterwork of ancient craftsmanship. Here's another mind-blowing fact about this discovery. When British archaeologist Howard Carter first opened Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922, he found 5,000 different objects inside, 5,000 individual artifacts. The tomb was so packed with treasures that it took Carter and his team of archaeologists a full 10 years just to catalogue everything. Think about that. 10 years of careful documentation, photographing, measuring and recording every single